Can we just take a moment to just be like, this is amazing? That is just absolutely stunning. And kia ora and welcome. My name's ZoeStibi and I am your vocal coach for today. In today's vocal analysis, we're going to be taking a look at Parton, Ronstadt. It's like the dream team. Not quite sure what they're singing. Let's see what they're up to with their vocal technique.
Dreamed I saw the knights in armor come, saying something about a queen. There were peasants singing and drummers drumming, and the archers split the tree. There was a fanfare blowing to the sun.
Now, can we just take a moment to just be like, this is amazing? And this is what blended singing sounds like. This is what, when people are musicians who are listening to the other musicians and know how to change their sound so that they fit with the others, this is what it sounds like. You can just, look, obviously we know their voices, so we can hear who's singing the top, the middle, and the bottom. But it's not like one is sticking out more than the other. Let's just listen to that again.
Well, I dreamed I saw the knights in armor come, saying something about a queen. There were peasants singing and drummers drumming, and the archers split the tree. There was a fanfare.
So we can see there as well very similar mouth positions if we're watching it. There was a fanfare. That's the melody that that Dolly Parton is singing. Very similar mouth shape, so that's going to also give us a similar sound, similar tonal color. But you know, all of these kind of markers that make these singers individual, they've reduced them or taken out a lot of them, because that's really required when we're singing with other people. We want to try and make our sound as homogeneous as possible, so it just fits the harmony better as well.
Look at Mother Nature on the run in the 20th century. Look at Mother Nature on the run in the 20th century.
That is just absolutely stunning. And we've got there as well, we know that Dolly Parton has a very bright voice, but she's sitting on the middle harmony or on the melody, because if we take those really, really bright voices and put them at the top of the mix, what ends up happening is that they sound even higher. And so it's really about getting the balance of the voices. Whose voice can sound a little bit darker, even even up there on that high harmony, so that we don't have, you know, like Dolly's high voice then sounding even higher. So you can notice as well, there's very little vibrato. When we're singing with other people, we're trying to either the vibrato or the vibrati match with people, for example, that are related to one another, or people that sing a lot together. Voice matching is a very, very it's an art in itself, actually. And so but when you're singing, you know, these three women, we've got very low levels of vibrato going on, because vibrato is another one of those coloring techniques that makes us really focus in on that one person's singing voice.
I was lying in a burned out basement with the full moon in my eye. I was hoping for replacement,
Wow, wow, wow. And can you also hear that really top harmony where it's actually very pulled back and quite low in volume, because higher notes will always carry further. And we tend to hear them the loudest in the mix. So when you're singing up there, we want to make sure that that volume is very, very low, because, yeah, as I say, they do really like to stick out there. So even though Dolly really took over the melody, well, she's singing the melody the whole time, but she took over the solo there, we noticed she didn't really like go full on Dolly in the song. And that's just obviously really stylistically appropriate for the song. I don't know this at all. It's beautiful.
There was a band playing in my head, and I felt like I could cry. I was thinking about what a friend had said. I was hoping it was a lie. Thinking about what a friend had said. I was hoping it was a lie.
So you can really hear as well the three very distinct vocal qualities. So we've got this, I was thinking about what a friend. I think I'm actually going a little bit into this reminds me of when the days are gone and the radio in my head. There's this science fiction set of feature from Rocky Horror Picture Show. That's not the song at all. Oh my goodness me, there's so many songs flying around in my head, I promise you. So when we've got this like lower harmony, we've got more of a chest, da 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 da. Got a thicker vocal fold sound that's still chest voice, but it's a lighter chest voice. So that's got a lot of thyroid tilt in it in order to just make it sound more sung, but also just to thin the vocal folds ever so slightly. Then we've got Dolly in there with a slightly less tilted chest voice. So she's got more of a straight tone, which is telling me that there's less tilt, but we've still got the thick vocal fold. And then we've got the higher harmony. Still thin vocal fold. Now you might go, there's that a little bit of falsetto. No, I wouldn't consider that falsetto, because we have good amount of vocal color in the sound. It's not sounding hollow, but there's just, the vocal folds are just opening ever so slightly at the back in order to allow that little bit of air to come through.
Dreamed I saw the silver spaceships fly in the yellow haze of the sun. There were children crying and colors flying all around the chosen ones. All in a dream, all in a dream. The loading had begun. Flying Mother Nature's silver sea to a new home in the sun. Flying Mother Nature.
So we're hearing a very, this is almost a little bit of a folk song, actually. It's not sort of the typical Dolly Parton song that I'd be expecting, which is really lovely. You can really hear how she's just such a wonderful musician. They're all wonderful musicians, and I do know they're all just as famous as each other. But just so wonderful, isn't it, to see that I love singing with other people, and I love seeing amazing singers like them singing with other people, because it's nothing to do with ego. It's all about pulling yourself back, and it's about the entire mix of the voice. So we again have this chest voice sound, but it sounds a little bit softer And that's caused by the thyroid tilt, which is here. The thyroid is where the vocal folds live. That thyroid tilt is what's going to allow the vocal folds just to thin slightly and to allow that sound to sound even more sung. And we're really backing off the volume as well at that point. So thin and thick vocal folds kind of determine the volume, but we can also sing loudly with thinner vocal folds and quieter with thicker vocal folds. So it's really about learning that finesse, and that comes down to so many different things, but it's really about getting one-to-one support with your journey with your voice. If that's something that you want to learn how to do, is to, to be able to sing loud and soft and learn how to control your voice. So check out the link in the description below to apply for the Vocal Academy for one-to-one singing lessons, because we do have spaces available, but they are limited at the moment. So you can apply down below. Wow, aren't they just absolutely amazing? What a beautiful song. I'm so glad that I decided to have a little bit look back in the archive for some older performances, because I just think there's so much to learn, and also with less effects and less computerization, let's say, of the vocal tone, we're really going to hear what it would be like in an acoustic situation. So without any without any pitch modification and things like that. And that's really where I want you to focus when it comes to, what the sounds are that you're wanting to try and create. Go back and listen to some of these wonderful older performances. Absolutely lovely. Let me know down in the comments what you want me to have a look at next, and which of these fabulous singers I should be focusing on for my next round of recording. If you've enjoyed this video, then hit that subscribe button. It really does help me to help more people like yourself with their vocal technique. I'm here to help you for free here on YouTube, and it really does help me to grow, to reach more people who are interested in working on their singing. Check out some more Dolly up here, because we have had a look at her before, and I'll see you around here next time. Happy singing. Mwah!